Right now, I'm going to do some character evaluations. I'm going to start doing them for each and every character in the game. This will be my first one. This is for Luka. We're going to go over her strong points and her weak points. The first part of this is Luka is average stats around the board, the same as any 6-star healer at this time. So there's no lack in power there at all. They're almost exactly the same stats. Um, the good thing about Luka is at max MP with her spirit, or her, not her spirit, but her magic power pots. She can get up to 320 MP. Her max spirit with spirit pots is 227. Max HP is 3,601. Her magic attack can go up to 146 with pots, and her defense can go 144 with pots. So, that being said, this is base stats with no equipment on, no Esper at all. So this is good right here. Already, we can see that she has a very high magic power pool. She also has a pretty good spirit pool too. It's 227. So the next part of this is, I thought it was kind of weird about her weapon choices that she can use. She can use stabs, but she can't use rods. She uses harps. The other thing she can use is maces. Now, we haven't really seen any amazing maces or harps for healers, so she's probably going to stick with a staff mostly, for the most part. The next part of this is, well, we already know, I'll go over it anyway, but 5-star and 6-star units usually have 4 ability slots, and her max affinity for white magic goes up to level 8. So she can use holy, but, I mean, that's a side thing for people, you know. So, the next part of this is, her stats. I added all her stats together when I set her max stats with her percentage bonuses at her base stats. So we're not going to talk about her 20% MP increase or her 30% spirit increase. We already got that out the way. Next thing we got here. We have Regenerate. This is a very strong AoE heal over time for 3 turns. It's actually fairly easy to hit 600 spirit on a healer like this, with her base spirit being so high. With equipment and Espers, because Espers can add up to like 64 spirit base. So you can get up to 290 very easily. That's just the Esper. That's not even all the equipment if you go all spirit equipment. I would say, if we want to be more realistic around it, I'd say 490 to 500 easily without dual wield, I don't think. So that's going to be a thing for the Regenerate. Now, with about 600 spirit with Regenerate, you'll heal for around 2,000 HP per round every turn. But let's go down to the base spirit with no equipment, no Espers on. It's still a 988 HP heal per turn for 3 turns, which is very strong still. Everything else you add to that is just going to make it go up exponentially, because the spirit modifier on it is 8 times the spirit. So this is good. Next part is she does have a water magic AoE attack. Probably good for a chaining thing to help out with damage if you're not doing anything with her at the time, or you don't need to heal or anything. That's also a good thing, but mostly I don't see it being used heavily. Only in certain occasions where you can just throw it out, you know. Especially because it's a special skill and it can't be dual casted. The next part, she gets an auto regen and an MP recovery for 5% of her MP. This is pretty amazing. So she has auto refresh and auto regen. If you have a high amount of spirit, it's 1.2 times the spirit, plus the base is 60. So that helps out a lot. Magic attack is also rolled into some of these stats as well for healing, but its value is like half, if I remember correctly. I'll have to go over the formula for it, but I think the magic coefficient for it is extremely low, so it doesn't do too much. But her having 146 magic attack might put it up by about I don't know, 50 of that or so, which is good for healing because magic does help healing, but nowhere near as much as spirit. Uh, the next part is she does have an AoE heal that is like Tillith's. And I know I didn't want to compare any characters together in this, but we're just comparing the skill, not the character. So the AoE heal is like Tillith's, is called Priestess Miracle. It can remove almost every status effect, heals all allies at a Kiraja level. This is very good. The only thing that you have to really protect her from would be confuse, paralyze, and um, petrify. Those are the three major things you would need to control from her being hit, or not hit with, but status effect by, which you can do with a jeweled ring. That's paralyze and petrify right there. And there's a black choker for confuse. This does take both of your accessory slots, but if you have, there's trust masters to do different things with it too to make you immune to stuff. But basically, if you stop those three status effects, even if you get put to sleep, somebody can hit her and wake her up, and then you can still use her that turn. So this is a very good skill here too, and being able to remove status effects on an AoE Asuna with an AoE Kiraja is pretty amazing. She also has Cleanse and Stona too, so she can remove every status effect. This is a very good plus here. This leaves her open for different Trust Masters that she can use, and she doesn't have to use Trust Masters to cleanse diseases or stones through that. So she gets everything on there. The next part of this is she does get a water resistance spell that resists 70% of water damage. We don't really fight a lot of water monsters a lot of the time that are worthy of this buff. And by the time she finally comes out, we've already fought the strongest water monster we've fought so far, which is Leviathan, next to Virtus of Water, which I feel like Leviathan's a lot stronger than Virtus of Water, but that's just the thing. She also gets an ability called Deep Blue, which increases your defense and spirit by 45% for 5 turns to all allies. This will also increase your healing drastically if you have a high base spirit already. So if you have 500 spirit, you can get up to 700 spirit fairly easy with this buff up, giving you a much stronger regeneration when you use it. Or your heal, your Kiraja heal. The next thing she has here is she has Kiraga, but we don't really see people use that much. That's her base heal. That's a good one. She also learns Raise. Raise is an amazing skill. People die. It happens sometimes, but Raise will help out. It is not a full raise, but it's still a raise, which is very good. You can always bring people back to life with her, which is great. Her limit burst is kind of weak. It does 2 things, which is good, which increases spirit and heals, but it's not really worth it until at least halfway maxed out or all the way maxed out, because that's when it gives a much higher spirit coefficient, as well as the heal is on the level of a Kiraja. It doesn't remove any status effects or anything, it just heals and buffs for spirit. It's an alright buff. It's not that amazing, but it's usable. So, this is the evaluation on Luka. She's a very powerful healer. She has a very strong amount of healing from Regenerate. It makes it to where you don't need dual cast to be good with her. She is our second 6-star right now. Her Trust Master is good as well, Water God's Protection, but this is just going over the character. We're not going over Trust Masters. So, this is it, and here's Luka. I will set up another video for the next character I go over, and we'll do that next.